Attention veterans! Attention veterans! When are you going to talk about buying VA? Of course, you asked, so you shall receive. What's going on, guys? My name is Minh with What's a Mortgage. Welcome to our channel. The goal of our channel is to simplify home ownership. And tonight we are going to go over how to use your VA loan to buy a home in 2022. If it's your first time tuning in, do me a huge favor, hit the notification or subscribe button so you're notified every time we go live or post new content. We go live every Monday night on Facebook and YouTube at 9 p.m. and Tuesday night on Instagram. And we post daily tips on TikTok and Instagram. So don't forget to follow us on all our other platforms. Guys, also, this is an interactive channel, so please ask a lot of questions. If you know anyone who's a veteran, tag them on this video, save this video for them, copy the link and send it to them. This is very important information, especially those who you know that have VA benefits, they haven't used it, or they're discouraged, like, hey, I don't want to do it, I can't do this, I can't do that, or hey, I'm saving until I can do the VA hack. Tonight, we're going to explain and break down how to do the VA hack appropriately so you can build your real estate empire with a VA loan. And we're going to show you that tonight. All right, guys? So, how to buy with a VA mortgage in 2022. If you have VA benefits, you can check your certificate of eligibility. If you don't know how to do that, go ahead and reach out to your lender, give them a copy of your DD-214, and they could pull up your VA eligibility. If you are eligible, this is why people use VA loans. The reasons why people go with VA, 100% financing. People ask me all the time, Min, what are the pros and cons about buying VA? There's not too many cons. There's mostly pros, okay? 100% financing. Outside of down payment assistant loans, which there's so many different down payment assistant loans, I would still rather go VA if I had the opportunity. Because when you do down payment assistance, you're either borrowing the money, getting it as a grant, but if you get it as a grant, they're gonna give you a higher rate anyways. Or you gotta split some of your equity. So VA loans, except for maybe NACA, but then qualifying for NACA is a little bit harder. The VA loan, pound for pound, 100% financing. On top of that 100% financing, there's no monthly PMI. So when you put less than 20% down to buy a house and you're going with a conventional loan, lenders want you to get PMI to protect themselves in case you can't make your mortgage payment. On FHA, it doesn't matter how much you put down, it is for sure you're getting monthly PMI. There's upfront and there's monthly. With VA, there is no monthly PMI. You're doing 100% financing, low interest rates, flexible credit, and flexible debt to income ratio. Also, the VA house hack. A lot of people go VA for the VA house hack. Also, the new thing in 2020, there is no VA loan limit. As long as a lender is willing to lend you the money, there is no limit for your first VA loan. You have full entitlement. You can go beyond your entitlement. Of course, if you use it again, different story. But if you're buying your first VA home, there is no loan limit. So these are the main reasons why people go VA. So with VA loans, a lot of flexibility gives you a lot of buying power. So if you want to understand how to qualify for a VA loan or any loan program, the first step, download our Ultimate Mortgage Guide. Go to whatsamortgage.com, download our Ultimate Mortgage Guide. Also, go to our YouTube channel and go watch our playlist. Our guide and our playlist will allow you to qualify for any program in the United States. It doesn't matter the loan program. If you understand the foundation, if you understand how to qualify, you can qualify for any program. You just need the foundation. So if you go VA, conventional, FHA, jumbo, doesn't matter the loan program, as long as you download our guide and watch our playlist, you'll be able to maneuver through any program. So that's the first step about buying VA. You got to download our guide and you got to watch our playlist. Step number 2, just like all the other programs, you want to solidify your income, okay? Wage earner, you want to get the last pay stub of 2021 and your new pay stub. They want to break down your overtime or bonus. If you're buying with a VA loan, doesn't matter when you buy. If the lender uses the overtime or bonus or commission to qualify you, you want to make sure you have that last pay stub. It makes the qualifications a lot easier. You're self-employed. You want to make sure your lender looks at your tax returns. Don't deduct everything yet, because if you deduct everything, you filed it, now you can't work backwards. You might not qualify. You might have to wait another year. Solidifying that income for 2021 is very important. Of course, if you have any non-taxable fixed income with a VA loan, you can gross it up 25%. So let's say you're collecting $2,500 a month in disability. Add 25% to it, which is $625. That means your gross income is $3,125. It's important for you to know that when you're trying to qualify with a VA mortgage. Also with VA mortgage, you can also use other income. As a veteran, there's other incomes you have to qualify. Like I said, you have your disability, which you can gross up. You have your base amount for housing, base amount of assistance. Don't forget, if you are in the military, you can use that as income to qualify to buy a home, but you cannot use GI Bill as income. Okay? The reason why I want you to know all this income, because there's something called debt to income ratio and the residual test, which we'll talk about in a second. That's why you want all this information. If you're buying using a VA mortgage, you want to have all your W-2, your self-employed tax returns. You want to have your reward letters. You want to have your disability, your base amount of housing, base amount of assistance in front of you so your lender can see where you qualify. Don't just tell them this is how much I have. Have the letters. Have the letters. It makes it easier for the lender. If you want certainty in the biggest investment you're going to make in your life, you want to have your paperwork. And like I said, GI Bill, you cannot use a GI Bill. So once you have all that information, you've solidified your income. The next step is you got to run credit. Just like any other program, there is credit. Yes, they say you can go down to 500. There are lenders going from 500 to 580, but there's not that many. And technically, you'll probably have to go with a manual underwrite. Not a lot in a seller's market. Not a lot of sellers are accepting manual underwrites. You can still qualify. I'm not saying that you can't, but the problem is not a lot of sellers want to take a manual underwrite. They don't want to take that risk. In a buyer's market, all day long. So of course we put in information for people to qualify, for the majority of the masses to qualify. So if you want to qualify in this market, you can still qualify manual, but will the sellers take your offer? I don't know. But of course, if you can get an automated underwriting, of course you have a higher chance to getting your offer accepted. So they're gonna have to run credit. When they run your credit, just like every other program, they're gonna check the balance of the monthly payments, any court order debt, government order debt, child support, alimony. If you owe the money to IRS and that's not on your credit report, they're gonna pull it from your pay stubs. If they find it, they're gonna add it to your debt to income ratio. It's important for the residual income test. Once you tally up your debts, you wanna break it apart, just like all the other programs for VA loans. You might need to eliminate debt to get your debt to income ratio lower. And it's crazy with VA, the DTI is a lot different than with FHA or conventional, or USDA or jumbo. Remember, do not include your rent because you're going to probably not renting anymore when you buy your house. Also, don't include your insurance, utility bills. You're going to include the utility bills on your residual income test. Don't include your cell phone bill. So once you validate the credit, remember, VA also has their own public records. Chapter 7, 11, 13, short sales and foreclosures, see their 2-year pluses. FHA is 3 years. So you get a 1-year break with a VA mortgage. So 100% financing. No PMI, a lot more flexible than FHA when it comes to short sale or foreclosure, 2-year plus instead of the full 3 years. And with VA, just like FHA, they have rules you got to follow. Here are the rules of debts. Let's say once you validate your credit, there are debts on there. If you have student loans, most people who are veterans don't have student loans because of the GI Bill. But if you do have student loans, whatever the payment is on your credit report, they add that to the monthly DTI. Unless you are in deferment or forbearance. If you're in deferment or forbearance on a student loan and you are going VA, you have to have proof that it's in deferment for forbearance for more than a year and you can omit the payment. If you can't get that letter, it's the balance times it by 5% divided by 12. With VA, they do student loans a little bit differently than FHA and conventional. So for example, if you have a student loan of $30,000, they times it by 5%. Which is $1,500. They divided by 12, $125 a month. So that payment is added to your debt to income ratio. Installment debts, they treat it just like FHA, less than 10 payments left, and the payment must be less than 5% of your gross income. If you have any tax liens, you got to show 3-month payments and it's added to your DTI. If you co-sign, you got to be the co, you can't be the main. So when you're validating your credit, you're going to tally up your monthly balances. When you run into student loans, that's how you calculate. Installment debt, less than 10 months left. Tax liens and cosigns. Validate all this information before you go ahead and get excited. A lot of lenders, the newer guys and girls, might not know all these rules, and the automated system doesn't pick all this up. So you want to make sure if you're going to talk to a lender, hey, bring this up to him. Hey, I got this worksheet from this guy from What's a Mortgage, and he says this. If you have issues, DM us here, okay? So we can talk you through it so you can get qualified. I respect and I'm very thankful for all the men and women that served our country. And if there's anything I can do to help you guys out, let me know. So always message us and I will go ahead and help you guys out. The next step, the budget. With VA, there is a budget. You're going to take the 2-year average of your monthly gross income or of your self-employed income, multiplied by 45%. So here's the difference. I like 45% with VA. I've seen them go to 70% debt to income ratio because there's another test you got to pass called the residual income test. I never like to see anyone live on top ramen unless, of course, you're buying a home with a VA mortgage. Let's say because of VA, you can't add co-signers unless it's your spouse or another veteran that has eligibility. Let's say you have someone that can help you with the payment. Because they're helping you, but you can't use their income, your DTI might be too high. But with VA, you never know. It's like the luck of draw when it comes to DTI. But if you're the only one buying by yourself, I wouldn't go past the 40% debt to income ratio. So you take the monthly gross income, you times it by 45%, and you subtract your monthly obligation. So showing an example here, 10 grand times 45% is $4,500. Let's say you have $1,500 in credit cards, student loans, whatever payments you have. So that max is $3,000. You want to keep your payment under $3,000. But remember, with a VA loan, you don't have monthly PMI, so you qualify for more home than an FHA or conventional person. 100% financing, no monthly PMI. It's a great deal. For those of you who want to be more conservative and those of you who want to be aggressive, here is our DTI cheat sheet. Check it out. If you make 120 grand a year or 140 grand a year, we broke it down monthly for you, times it by 40%, 43, 45. For those who want to be more conservative, 40, 43%. But those of you who want to be aggressive or you have people who are going to help you with the mortgage payment, but they just can't go on the loan, I would push it at 50, 55%. That's the max you can afford without debt. And then you can subtract debt from that, okay? So remember, if you want to include the debt or not include it, that's the DTI you can go up to is your max with your income. So remember, VA is a little quirky. There's the debt to income ratio test, and then there's the residual income test. If you live in the United States, of course, it's broken down to 4 regions. You got Northeast, Midwest, South, and the West. You can go on the VA website and find out what state falls under what category. Let's say you're a family member of 1. That means it's just you. After you pay all your bills and the loan amount is over 80 grand, you need to have X amount left over to live. If you don't, you can't get a VA loan. Let's say you're a family member of 4, you're in California. Once you cover your mortgage and other debts, bills, and we'll go over that in a second, you got to have $1,117 left. 5 people, $1,158 left. If you're in the South, Midwest, depending on your state, this is the popular residual income test. Make sure you Google it and you can pull it off the VA website. Here's just an example for you, okay? So what debts do they calculate? Here we go. So if you pass the DTI test, you get that DU approved, you still got to pass this residual. If you don't pass the DTI one, you might have to go with the manual underwriting. They'll just do the residual. Let's say you don't pass the DTI, but you pass the residual. Depending on the lender and their overlays, they might do it with just the residual income test for the manual. But like I said, in a seller's market, not a lot of sellers are accepting manual underwriting. Here's how the residual income test works. You got your eligible income, your W-2, your self-employed. Remember, you can add your social security income, your BA, right? I call it your BA. Remember that we talked about in our other slides? Don't forget your regular income, your disability income, your BA, your base amount of housing, your BAS, your base amount of assistance, and not the GI Bill. So you would have calculated all your income together. If there's 2 people on the loan, it's your spouse, or if it's another veteran buying with you, you would group it all together. So once you group the income together, you subtract the complete mortgage payment. So that's principal, interest, tax, insurance. If you buy a home that has HOA, you would include the HOA. If you buy it in an area where there's a flood insurance you have to get, include that, minus your credit card debts. So when you run credit, like I said, in I think step number 3, when you verify your credit, you add all your credit debts in there. If you run credit and there's a monthly payment, you put it right there. And then when you look on your pay stub, you want to subtract your monthly federal tax withholding, your state tax withholding, your Social Security, and your FICA. The reason why it's broken down like that, because you don't include your other benefits, like your 401k, if you have a 401k, or if you get any other benefits. Then it's 14 cents times the square footage of the home. Let's say this home is 2,000 square foot. That's $280 a month. So if you made 10 grand a month and your mortgage payment was $2,500 and those were your bills, that total would be $2,520. Left over, you would have $2,520. So if you have $2,520, of course, if you look at our other slide, you would pass the residual income test. Talk to your lender. They definitely will do that for you. But if you want to do it yourself, here is the formula. You will find it in our ultimate mortgage guide. And if you don't have it, please message me. We'll break it down for you, okay? A residual income test. So there's 2 income tests you got to pass when you are buying with a VA loan. And if you decide you want to come in with a down payment, you can go ahead and do so. Of course, if you use up your entitlement or partial entitlement, you're going to have to come out of pocket. And here we show some of the down payment, because with VA, they'll cover up to 25%. So if you do the entitlement and you don't have enough, you're going to have to come out of pocket. So with VA, you can draw from your retirement, get money as a gift, sourcing just like FHA and conventional. This is if you're going to cover your own closing costs. If you cover your own closing costs, yes, some veterans, I'm not saying all, they're used as straw buyers to use their benefits. That's wrong, of course. So that's why they want to make sure, even with veterans, they're not straw buyers. So they want to make sure if you're drawing from your retirement or getting a gift, that you are the actual buyer and not a straw buyer. Once you get it all together, you put it all together. And then once you put it all together, you want to find out what your payment is. Once you figure out your payment, of course, just like all loan programs, you got to rebalance. If you're not happy with your payment, you can either drop the purchase price, bring in a bigger down payment, pay off some debt, or add a cosigner. Remember, your cosigner could only be your spouse or a veteran with eligible benefits. Other things you want to know about VA loans: you can waive the funding fee if you have 10% disability or more, or you have a Purple Heart. And remember, if you are buying a 2-unit, 3-unit, or 4-unit with a VA loan, you can only use the rental income to help you qualify if you're using a property management company. Unless you have past landlord experience, you're going to have to use a property management company. You want to set that up ahead of time so you're able to use rental income to help you qualify. You can use up to 75% of the rental income to help you qualify. I call it refreshing, but you can refresh your entitlement or restore your entitlement with VA loans. You can use it as many times as you want. You can restore your entitlement. Can you have more than one VA loan? Yes. But if you're trying to use VA loan twice and use 100% financing, there is a slim chance you can. But if you go with the VA loan and you go past your entitlement on your first loan, there is a loan limit, but there's not. If you go past your entitlement per that county, you can still get your VA loan 100% financing. But whatever you go over, if you try to buy VA on your next loan, it does affect how much you can qualify for 100% financing. Definitely, you want to talk to a lender. There's a worksheet they all have. The formula is complicating. It's like there's 2 formulas. They take the lesser of 2. Definitely, if you have a VA loan or you're thinking about house hacking and not trying to take your VA loan and restore it, talk to a lender. Also, with a VA loan, only your spouse or another veteran who has benefits can help you co-sign. So if your best friend's a veteran, or your parent or your sibling, you cannot co-sign with them and they cannot co-sign with you if you are the veteran. Only your spouse and another veteran with benefits. Also, another thing for all you veterans: if you buy a home in a community state property like Arizona, California, Idaho, Louisiana, Nevada, New Mexico, Washington, or Wisconsin, you got to run the spouse's credit. You got to add their monthly debts to your qualifications. Even if they don't qualify for the mortgage, let's say they don't have the credit, you still got to add their debts in those states. If you're not in that state, depending on the lender, it might have an overlay, but if the lender is selling the Ginnie Mae directly, they will not run the spouse's credit, only in community states. So those are things you need to know about VA. And if you have questions, leave a comment if you have any questions, and let's get into our Q&A. All right, guys, hopefully that helps you out. Oh, before I get into Q&A, there is something called a VA renovation loan. So with a VA renovation loan, you can borrow up to 110% of the new appraised value, 100% financing. So you're a veteran, you're buying a house, you can buy a house, convert it into a 4-unit. You can buy a house and do a full renovation like it's a new construction in a regular neighborhood and not pay the Melrose and HOA. If you have a disability, you can use the renovation to build out the home so it works for you. VA renovation, very popular. More popular than FHA and conventional because it's 100% financing, 110% of the new appraised value. Remember that. That means nothing out of pocket. Not even the appraisal. They can't even charge you an appraisal up front. So VA, if you are a veteran or you have VA benefits, but someone tells you this is too good to be true, you served our country, it's not too good to be true, you deserve it. So VA renovations, awesome program. You go with a 4-plex, 3-unit, or 2-unit, you do a VA renovation, you do units, you can have the rental income on the units to help you qualify. You still got to qualify even though you do renovation. But if you just build an ADU, you cannot use border rent. It has to be a straight up duplex, triplex, or 4-plex. And here we go. For all the veterans out there, the VA house hack. 4, 3, 2, 1. If you know anyone who's a veteran and they haven't used their benefits, this is what they got to do if they want to use their benefit. Step 1, you can buy a 4-unit with your VA mortgage, or buy a single family home, duplex, triplex. you can convert it to a 4-unit if you want. Once you convert it to a 4-unit, you can refinance it to an FHA or conventional loan. It's up to you. If you refinance it to an FHA loan, you will need 3.5% equity. And also, if you have a 4-unit or 3-unit, you got to pass a self-sufficient rule. That means 75% of the total rent must be more than the mortgage payment. So you have a VA loan, you bought VA, and of course you want a house hack. Trying to have 2 VA loans at the same time, it's not impossible, it's very hard. It's easier that you buy a VA, you wait 12 months, if you have enough equity, you can convert it to FHA. And then after a year from that, you can use your VA again, because when you convert to FHA or an owner-occupied loan, you do sign a piece of paper, an affidavit saying that you're going to live in the property for at least 12 months. Of course, it depends on how long you're willing to wait. Once you see 3.5% equity or more, you can convert it to an FHA loan or conventional loan. If you go conventional, it's a 4-unit. Even owner-occupied, you need at least 20 to 25% equity. So you would be chilling in the house till you have 20% equity and refinance it to a rate and term conventional owner-occupied. If you do that, you still got to wait 1 more year unless you refinance at 25% equity as investment. So if you buy a home with the VA, you go with a 4-unit, refinance it conventional or FHA. Depending on the program, you have to have the minimal amount of equity. And with FHA, remember, the self-sufficient rule. Once you do that and it's all seasoned, you can step 2, buy a 3-unit VA, rinse and repeat, same thing, 3.5% equity. Remember the self-sufficient rule, or go conventional 20 to 25%. So you decide how you want to wait it out. So step 1 and 2 for VA is the same if you want a house hack. But remember, you're going from 4-unit to 3-unit. Remember that. And then the next one, step 3, you want to buy a duplex. Refi that duplex into an FHA or conventional, 3.5%. There's no self-sufficient rule on the duplex. Or conventional, 15 to 25%. Then you rinse and repeat. You buy, for step 4, you buy a small home with the VA loan. Add an ADU if you want so you can collect rent. Do that renovation loan. Then you can refinance an FHA conventional. Wait out another year. I think the process of doing this probably will take you a handful of years, but if you do it right and patiently, step 5, you end up with your big VA loan, your big house, right? Unless you want to sell one of the other properties. But then there's another formula if you do that. Then you can use your rents from your 4-unit, your 3-unit, your 2-unit, and your smaller home with an ADU to cover your big mortgage. Or now you have your 4 properties, and there starts your real estate portfolio. Now you have equity in these properties. You can sell, you can flip, there's a lot you can do, but once you have homes that you can build equity on, and you can do this with 100% financing, just follow the steps correctly. The lender wants to always see that you're upgrading. Yeah, 4 units. Of course, each unit should be smaller than the 3-unit, and then 2-unit, and then smaller home, then bigger home. If you house hack that way, it is believable in the eyes of the underwriter. If you don't do it that way, you're going to run into hiccups. They're not going to believe you're buying owner-occupied VA. They just know that you're an investor. So make sure you follow these strategies. But the most important strategy to follow our page. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn. Definitely follow us for more tips. If you enjoy this content, do me a huge favor. Save this video, share this video, and like it. And if you have more questions regarding VA, go ahead and give us a call, 714-790-9697. You can call us. All the shy guys and shy girls out there, send us a text message. If you have a loan estimate that you want us to review, you want us to help you read it or beat it, send it over to info@whatsamortgage.com. If you do that, we will help you review it, empower you, help you read it, and help you make the next decision for you and your family. All right, guys, we want to end all our episodes with our attitude is gratitude. Without you, there would be no us. So have a great night. And everyone out there, Happy New Year. Chúc mừng năm mới, gần hầu và trôi.